My first time starting the stream here with them. I'm excited. I can't wait for these new teams to get together, link up, and some new exciting adventures this year in Season 4. It's going to be the best season yet. Joined here tonight with Punk Panda, Canute, and Biker as always in the booth. We've got some exciting new things we're going to be doing for you this season. And guys, how are you this evening?
Well, heck, I'm doing great, Niner. I really appreciate being here with you quality gentlemen in the booth, and I'm looking forward to a great race tonight with you.
And here at Daytona last night, but you know what? Tonight it's time to watch the big boys go at it. The Hammerdown Racing Cup Series, guys. 20 cars this year in the field versus 16 from last year. So I'm looking forward to see how we do there.
And Panda, how are you doing this evening, buddy? I know you've been working hard laying tile. How you feeling today?
Oh, it's good. We're good. I can't wait to see this action here in the Cup Series. The race last night was good, and it's anyone's win tonight.
I for one am hoping to see that if these Cup boys can outdo the Xfinity guys and get that high line rolling. Once you get that high line rolling, it's almost unstoppable at Daytona. Being that tight track, that high line just seems to roll if you can get it going. We just could not seem to get it working last night in that Xfinity race. But these Cup guys, I know they've been working hard on it. They had some problems in one of their practices, so they went back and everybody said, "Hey, we're gonna do this right." So I know they've been working on that high line, trying to get it rolling. I know they said that it's going to be working tonight, so hopefully we get to see that. Real quick, me and Canute are going to jump into a Daytona room. This is one of our new things we're going to do for you each week here on the Hammerdown Cup Series Racing. We're going to jump into a room at Daytona. We're going to show you a couple laps around Daytona, and while we're doing that, Canute's going to explain the track to you, and I believe Biker's going to give you some track facts about Daytona while we're doing that. So here we are going into the Coke 400.
That's right, Daytona International Speedway, the new Daytona Super Stretch with the grandstand seating. I just love the way that this looks, but I do miss the seating on the backstretch. There's just something about the stands being on both sides of the speedway that just makes this place just extra special. But don't get me wrong, this place looks fantastic. So as we load in here to this little private race as we go through, we're going to show you the different lines that we can run and just what you need to do to have success here at Daytona. So I'm going to be in the 10 car with Niner in the 16 as we get set. And across the line, shift up. And Niner is going to fall in behind me, maybe not, depending on what kind of push he can get from the cars behind. Slow to get up to speed with these cars with the restricted power due to the tapered spacer. Up along the 31 degrees of banking as we head back off of turn 2 down the Daytona Super Stretch. At this point, you'll see the cars fanning out, trying to see who they can work with, who they work with the best. And then at this point, keeping an eye on those temperatures and making sure they shift well. And now we're up to full song as we come back across the line to complete the first lap. You can run two different lines here. You can run on the top, you can run on the bottom, but my recommendation, try to stay out of the middle as best as you can. Being the meat in the sandwich is not something that you want to do. That can definitely cause big wrecks, especially with the narrowed space as Niner gets up into the wall there. What happened to you back there, Niner? I didn't see.
Hey, just some of that air pushing me up. That air in front of you, sometimes that dirty air will get you. And I was high in that corner and just scraped that wall. And once you hit it in a Cup car, it holds it.
That is very true. So now back across the start too. Now, Niner, why don't you why don't you get us up to speed and pull a slingshot on me? Show us how well it is to do a slingshot here in these Cup cars.
Okay. Well, so I'm gonna get this air. You see that down at the bottom right corner, that blue draft circle tells me when I have a good draft coming off of that 10 car, and I've got a great one coming out of turn 2. So I'm gonna use that, get up on him right here. Coming down that backstretch, I'm gonna get up 201, 202, 203, 204. 205, I get right there, and I'm just going to dive underneath him right here and slingshot past him.
And I'm doing 202 heading into turn 3 there, too.
So there's a 2 or 3 mile an hour difference there between that car leading and that car behind. And I just get out in front of him and just, now he's got my draft. So I just gave him the advantage that I just had over him. So there's a couple laps around Daytona for you.
And it's not just a speed advantage, but a fuel advantage as well. The more that you can stay back in the draft here, the better fuel mileage you'll have, which could pay dividends not only for the stages, but especially for the final result here.
Absolutely, and if you were paying attention last night to that Xfinity race, that is how Anxious Yeti was able to hold on and get that win. Boy was running out of gas, but as soon as he was able to hook onto that lap car in front of him of Shady Acres, the last car on the lead lap, he just pushed him around the track for the last 4 or 5 laps. Was able to save that extra fuel that no one else was able to, and ended up pulling out that win in dramatic fashion and getting his first win there in the Xfinity Series. So congratulations again to Anxious Yeti last night, winning that Xfinity race by just great strategy and using that draft to his advantage. So that's that. Any
drivers on or anyone on the Twitch stream can watch my car holding 8,000 RPM. My foot isn't to the floor right now. It's actually at about, I'd say, maybe 2/3 throttle, maybe half throttle. And I'm able to keep speed and even suck up heading down the backstretch here. And that will help save me maybe a couple laps with the 3 times tire wear here. And that mileage, we're looking at probably 14, 15 laps without any draft help from front as we start the final lap here. And I'll try and make a decision on where I could probably pass this guy.
He won't be able to.
Are we sure?
I'm positive.
Guys are probably going to get close to starting. We got some other things to go over. So
yep. Oh, this is it. Last lap right here. It was a long little short race here.
Yeah, 4%, 6 laps, but they're going to be doing 80 laps tonight at Daytona International Speedway, for a total of 200 miles around the 2.5 mile super speedway. As I make my move on the top side, do I got him? I think I got him. Oh,
he got contact. Me. Oh man, there you are. All right, so that's Daytona International Speedway.
Hey everybody, hi, this is Biker. I hope you're having a good evening tonight. We've talked about Daytona International Speedway several times in the commentary already. And yes, it is in Daytona Beach, Florida. And it has a seating capacity of 123,000 in the grandstands, but depending on the configuration, it can go up to 167,000 occupancy in this racetrack. We are looking at a track that was opened 63 years ago, and believe it or not, only at a small cost of $3 million. This is a 2.5-mile asphalt tri-oval with turns banked at 31 degrees. The tri-oval is at 18 degrees, and the back straightaway is at 2 degrees. And that's Daytona. It is operated by NASCAR, but the owner is the Daytona Beach Racing and Recreation Facility District. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you over to Niner and Dan, where he's going to let you know who the teams are for Season 4 in the HDRS Cup Series.
So, hey, guys, so this year we had a lot of shakeups in car numbers, manufacturers. You're going to see some guys in cars. It's going to be very confusing this first race for everybody involved, especially the people on the track trying to find their drafting buddies, remembering that, sometimes that guy's no longer in that car number. That might be a rookie in that car number, so we're not quite sure. So let's go over some of these new teams and numbers with you. So over at Stewart-Haas, I'm gonna save Stuart Haas for last because there's a whole story behind that one. So we'll start with Hendrick. B News is going to be your team captain over there in the 24 car. We're gonna have Hollywood in the 9. Death Before Dishonor out of the 41 and moves over into the 48 car, and then we're gonna have Hothead over in the 88. And Anxious Yeti from last night is going to be their alternate. So if any of them are ever out for the week, Anxious is going to jump in one of their cars for them, and he's going to be running their number instead of his own number this year. That's going to be one of the changes that is happening. Penske with Visceral Killer is going to be the team captain over there in the 12, and we're going to have Jinx in that 22 car. And let me tell you, since Jinx has moved to the 22 car and some other places, he's been fast. So look for Jinx tonight. Travis in the 21 and Frankenstein's son in the 2. Their alternate is going to be Filski, filling in for them when they need to. RCR, we've got Dark Knight as their captain, defending Xfinity and Truck Series champion. He, number 2 draft pick overall, went to Schlinken, our Truck Series champion, Dark Knight is the defending Cup and Xfinity champion. So Schlinken, our truck champion, is going to be driving the 1 car. Stag is going to be in that 3 car. Memphis Phoenix is going to be in that 42 with Shady Acres as their alternate this year. And then over at Front Row Racing, we're going to have Happy as the team captain in that 38 car. Dunlap in the 32. Titanic Joe in the 17. DeReal in the 34 with our own Biker being their alternate. And then Stuart Haas, so Silenced won the 5th captain's race at Homestead in dramatic fashion, turned around and won the captain's showdown race where you got to pick the captain, then he turned around and won the captain's race at Homestead. So he got to pick his team, and he went with Twoon number 1 overall. So you're going to have Silenced in the 6, Twoon in the 4. We Love Zan is now changed his name over to the Icy Era. So he's going to be in the 41, which was made famous by Death Before Dishonor. And then we're going to have King Pile in the 14 car with our own Canute as their alternate. So those are going to be the 5 teams this year. Missing in that whole group there is no Toyotas running in the Cup Series this year. I find that to be very interesting. But, hey, it is what it is. We're going to have a bunch of Chevys and Fords versus each other for Season 4 here in the Hammerdown Cup Series.
And I think that will make it extra interesting tonight. So here is the starting lineup for tonight's basically Daytona 500, or Daytona 400 we'll call it. So I'm going to do this MRN style. I'll start off with the guys that did not qualify. Travis, Dark Knight, Hothead, and Hollywood Dr. Stats did not qualify last night. Starting 16th, because he lagged out, was HDRS the Mr. Twoon, with HDRS Stag starting inside of him in 15th spot. Shady Acres will start in 14th, with DeReal Real in 13th. Outside of row 6 in 12th will be King Pile, with Jinx starting in 11th. Those 2 co-owners starting a little bit back in the field. Titanic Joe will be starting 10th, with B New Stu, the captain of Hendrick Motorsports, in 9th. Frankensteinson in 8th, with Visceral Killer starting in the 7th spot. Happy will be starting in 6th, with Silence starting in the 5th spot. HDRS Icy Era starting in 4th. Schlinken Youngblood will be starting in 3rd. Now the front row. Last year in the Xfinity Series, they were known as the Gravedigger Brothers.
Yeah, they got
Dunlap starting 2nd, and Death Before Dishonor actually will be starting on the pole.
All right, guys, and last-minute breaking news, Memphis Phoenix will not be starting tonight. Shady Acres is going to be filling in that 42 car. Already this year, we have our one alternate starting the race. So Shady Acres in the 42, and if anybody needs to follow his live stream, Shady's always got a good live stream going.
He sure does, and ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go racing at Daytona International Speedway.
So they're down to 2 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see these. Down to the floorboard, trying to be the first winner of Season 4 in the Hammerdown Racing Series.
Very well done there, Biker. Very, very well done.
Very well. All right, here we are. We're loading in for the Coke Zero 200 here at Daytona with the Hammerdown Cup Series. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel tonight and hit that bell so every time we do go live, you do get to see it. That way when you're at work sneaking a show in from your boss, you can sit there on your phone and watch us race.
Say maybe you're on your phone and you don't necessarily want to watch on YouTube. We also have Twitch, twitch.tv/HDRS Racing Series. We are also on TikTok as well. Look us up, HDRS Racing there.
All right, here we are. Green flag out with the 32 car in the lead of Dunlap. And he's got Silence pushing him on that bottom, going ahead and breaking away from the rest of the field.
A lot of this field coming up to speed as we enter turn 3. They should be hitting right about 190 miles an hour as we head into turn 3 here. A little bit of argy-bargy there going on up at the top side as people trying to jockey into position, see what kind of ground they can make up early here at the start of this race. But it looks like it will be Dunlap leading lap number 1.
And there you go, Front Row Motorsports stepping up right at the beginning of this race. It's going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. And to all of you that are here and to all our viewers and our HDRS fans, thank you very much for tuning in. We very do much appreciate it.
So this first lap is going to be 25 laps to start with a short break, probably 3 laps. Then stage 2 will be 22 laps, another short break there before we set up the final stage, which will be 27 laps.
Got some wall and falling back.
Oh, someone's around.
4 is around. And I didn't catch the other one that's around with him.
Let's see here. That's my teammate, Mr. Twoon. Looks like he's getting back up to speed as we stay under green.
Now this front pack has already broken away from this front group. They're running, what, about 8 to 10 straight line. This back group's still fighting for position and starting to lose ground to the front 10.
Yeah, there's 8 cars there. The 24 car of B-New Stu
like
just trying to hold on.
Got a little air in one up top, and it looks like Silence is going to be our new leader.
Way to capitalize on an error there. That's something you have to keep an eye out here. Many people ignorantly believe that Daytona and Talladega are basically the same track. That is not the case. At Daytona, this track is so much tighter radius of the corners as it looks like we have a caution.
Cautions come out, yeah.
That might be a manual caution.
We have the caution, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make sure that I have introduced to you, and he's been introduced, the voice of Hammerdown Racing Series, Panda. How do you think it's going so far, sir?
It's going okay. They just need to get some patience. But it's a long race. What do we got? 80 laps here tonight? 90? Something of that nature?
I believe Shady's or Canute said 80. 80 laps. It's 200 miles.
Yeah. We're on lap 4 of 24 here. So.
Yeah. They seem, I can't tell if there's some lagging going on or if they're just, they've got some real loose setups, but there's a lot of wiggling coming off of some of these cars, and I can't tell. I know last night we had a lot of lagging going on, so I don't know if that's the same problem that they might be having this evening, but I've noticed the 88 car doing a lot of jumping.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it on my screen. Every once in a while, like every other lap, I'll see a couple guys jump, but that's about it now. So.
So it looks like it is a quickie yellow here. For those of you that don't know what a quickie yellow is, everyone has a chance to come down pit road all at the same time, whether you're on the lead lap or a lap down. Come down, get 4 tires, fresh fuel, make any repairs, and make any adjustments that you might need. And then the very next lap, we will be going back to green flag racing.
So this is a manual caution. Difference between a game caution and manual caution is someone calls out the manual. They slow down, go through pit road, and then they'll line up, and they'll be able to choose inside or outside. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay, so
Yes.
they get to choose their lane here with manuals, where with game cautions you do not. And so we had what, 3 cars stay out, I believe.
Looks like that. And Real was the first car off of pit road. A lot of varying strategies here. Some guys that were up front as the caution came out. Looks like they may have taken 4 tires. Real may have taken a splash of gas. Some guys might have taken 2 tires as well.
Yep, so you've got Hothead's going to be on the outside of this restart here by staying out, and Travis. No, not Travis. Who's in the 12? It's Visceral. Visceral's going to stay out and get the lead here. So he's going to be leading us back to green.
Gentlemen, I need a mic check real quick. I've been told they can barely hear me. I'll wait for Crimson to let me know if I'm good now. Thank you very much.
We got you loud and clear there, Biker. Maybe check and see if the group chat is enabled for broadcast. But yeah, unfortunately, leading laps is not necessarily counted towards points, just like in modern day NASCAR, unlike in the old style points. So it doesn't really matter what laps you lead, as long as you lead the lap at the end of each stage and the last lap. That's the only points that are counted. As we get set to go back to green flag racing here, Visceral Killer.
2 cars going into the pits right now at the restart, or we might be getting another lap in.
Yeah, it looks like another lap.
All right. Hey, Mr. Panda, why don't you bring us back to green here?
Boy, that's just what I was thinking. Why don't you take us off, bro?
Okay, so they're coming around here.
While we are waiting for them to come around, they are on the backstretch. Niner, Biker, I was wondering, if it was you, which lane would you choose, inside or outside?
You know what? It kind of depends on who I think's going to be around me at the restart. I think it's a known fact that if you're here at Daytona, you want to start on the inside to get the upper hand into 1 or 2. After that, the push coming from the outside is going to even them up, probably coming on the backstretch, but it's going to be the inside for me.
All right, here we go, Panda. Take it away, buddy.
Here we go. We got. I don't know names.
So you got Visceral and
Visceral.
Hothead on the front row.
Yes, on the front row, going down there. We got the green car. Let's see. That is. Trying to cycle.
Whoa!
Through. And they are off, and yeah, they're all mangled up here. So I think they were trying to get in order there. And so we got the 22 going way outside on the inside. I think we're taking another lap here.
Yeah, I think they're letting Stag get up. They're letting Stag get up, or maybe get a lap
Silence
back.
is in the 6. So Stag is in that 9. That's the 9 car? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, nope, we are...
We are
green. We are green. Then.
That is so odd.
I think that was a really bad lag there, because Visceral went from first to last.
Well, he drove down to the apron, and looks like he took the 9 machine with him down there. So I'm not really sure what was going on there. We'll have to try and ask him about it later, and maybe we'll be able to let everyone know later in the broadcast.
Yeah, because the 9 car was putting there. They weren't up to speed, and then all of a sudden they were full speed.
And Hollywood's leading in the 9 car.
Yes.
Oh, Hollywood is lagging bad on my screen.
I am not seeing that right now. They look fairly good on my screen.
Huh.
Travis is in the pits right now, and it looks like he's not moving, so Travis has lagged out of this race.
Yep. Yeah,
Hollywood is, well, I'll have to keep an eye on Hollywood, but he is leading right now in that UniFirst number 9 machine.
22
His
of Vince is
teammate.
on the outside. Silence is going under Vince there.
And the 3 cars we have in the back are Frankenstein, Happy, and Visceral Killer that are hooked up at the back of the pack. Don't know what happened to them.
Back here, there's Pyle. Oh, that's a 34. That's DeReal in the 34.
That's correct.
Who's in the 88 nowadays?
Hothead.
That-
Spoon?
That'd be
that's Rye.
Hothead Rye.
Hothead Rye. Okay. And they're trying to make this outside work. We got the 34, the 22, and I don't know what car that is. The 6 of Silence pushing on the outside.
And it looks like they've got that train up on a high ball there on the high side. We are 2 by 2 by 2 coming off of turn 4. But here comes that freight train behind, 7th place, leading that. That's the number 24 machine of B News 2 in the Silver Exalta Jeff Gordon paint scheme. And it does look like they are gaining on this lead pack. So DeReal is now leading with the 22 pushing him out in front. But here comes Hollywood back on the inside. Oh, 22 on the wall.
There was some contact.
Yeah,
22 is around.
The 9.
Caution is going to come out. Big wreck in the back. Everybody's spinning in that back of the pack.
Everybody's out.
The 22 car is flipping on my screen.
So that should be an in-game caution there.
Yes, it should be. You're absolutely correct, Canute. And that's, you know, like they said before, if you touch this wall at Daytona in a cup car, you're going to stick to it. And when you try to pull yourself off, that's exactly what's going to happen to you.
So we are already up to 2 cautions so far for this race. Last night, we had a number of cautions. Unfortunate situations occurred. But you know what? Tonight's a new night, and we look forward to a good race here. And these Cup guys, they aren't the top division for no reason. So shaking off the rust a little bit here, Daytona being a completely different track than Talladega is where we normally open at. So
Shady Acres made some pit strategy, took over the lead here going to green.
Shady is very strong at these plate tracks. He always seems to have a fast car, whether it's in the trucks, in the Xfinity cars, and here now in the Cup Series. Good for him to be up front and show that he belongs in Hammerdown.
Absolutely.
Well, you know that the rest of us alternates, Canute, are rooting for Shady in this race.
And look at who's pushing him in the 48 car. It is Death Before Dishonor up there in second place. The Chevys are hooked up on that bottom line. They are driving away from that top half of the field. I mean, the first 6 have pulled out. 7 have pulled out away from the rest of the field. You've got Silence, the first one, trying to make it too wide in that 6 car, but the top 3 Chevys are pulling with the 38 pushing those guys.
You know, Death Before Dishonor is proving each and every single race that he is among the fastest in this league. He's always been called the road course ringer of Hammerdown ever since I joined this league back in Season 2. But more and more, he is getting faster everywhere we go, whether it is short tracks, the speedways, and even these super speedways, Daytona and Talladega. He won at Dover last year. He's also won at a couple of other intermediate tracks throughout the season. I think he also got another short track win last year too, but he's looking to get another win.
You know, Canute, not only road courses, but he was known for his short track racing first before he was ever known as a road course guy. But you're right. As far as speedways and super speedways, he's really picked it up, and he's going to be a big threat this season to take it all.
I think he's one of the top picks to take the championship. And guys, we haven't even made our picks to win this race yet.
Hold on, let me grab my hat real quick with my numbers in it, and I'll tell you who my pick is.
That's it. Well, Silence got in the wall a little bit there, and has dropped him back about 5 or 6 spots at this time.
Stu got into the wall there last lap too.
Going to pull a number out of his hat. It still looks like Shady is leading.
That's funny because I just pulled the 6 out of the hat, so my pick to win is Silenced in the 6 car. So,
There you go.
so the fact that he just got in the wall, I mean, that means he might actually win this thing because it's still early in this
It's
race.
early. It is early in this race, and you're absolutely correct. Who do you have, Punk? Punk Panda. Who do you
I
have,
have Shady.
baby?
I have Shady all the way.
You
So
have
Shady
man.
filling in
I'm
the
going with
42. Heck yeah.
I'm going with Shady.
I think that's
Yeah.
a pretty solid call myself.
You know,
He's an alternate, so
I would have to say Shady as well. He is fast, but if I have to pick someone else other than what you two guys have already picked, as a 9 gets in the wall.
Yes, that was a
Oh,
hard hit. He's in
That
the
was
infield.
Hollywood. That might be a manual caution there.
It
If
looks like
it's
it was
more than- it's
just
gotta be more than
him.
one car.
Yeah,
If
it's just
him,
Hollywood.
you're not
So,
gonna do
gosh.
so
anything.
it's okay because this happened last night with Anxious Yeti. He ended up getting wrecked early in stage 1. No caution came out. He went a lap down and still came back to win the race. So Hollywood is not in trouble right now being that only car spinning. It's still possible for him to come back and win this thing, and we've seen it happen. So he
As
just
I
needs to
was
pit
saying,
and shake it off.
I
If
guess
I have
we're down to my pick now, and I can tell you this.
I haven't.
If you don't know, and if you haven't watched this guy race very much, he is a super speedway ringer. And he's up there in the top 6 right now, and my pick for the win tonight is the Real.
That's really funny because that is who I'm watching right now on the stream. Is Darrell, as you picked him, the 34 car, he seems to be able to hold it down right there against that line. He's not shaking. He's got a steady car. I've never really watched him race, but Darrell is putting on a very good show right now, running in that 6th position.
I'm on board with Death right now, looking back towards the rest of the pack while he's running in 2nd, and it looks like we have 10, maybe 12 car breakaway here at the front of the field. Maybe it's just my depth
9,
perception.
Maybe 8 to 9.
All right. Well, still, these guys are straightening themselves out. And these guys still have to pit. Remember, these guys are running a 3 times tire wear race here. So the pit window outside of the draft. So if you're Shady Acres right now, your pit window is probably 13 to 15 laps. But if you're back towards the pack, right back where Darrell is, I think your pit window is somewhere around, I'd say 16, 17 laps.
To the inside.
Yep.
The one got into the back.
I think that was a SHR guy. I'd have to cycle back to try and find him.
And Darrell got arrowed out to the outside, left outside by himself, and he'll be dropping back to 8th place. Looks like Death was almost going to try to get under Shady right there.
That was the 8
And
car, actually.
We are coming up on the 9 car, who's going to go a lap down at this point.
Yep, Hollywood is
And it's
staying
okay.
high.
As long as he stays that first car a lap down, it'll be okay.
He's fine.
So it was
And,
Dark Knight that got up into the off the track there and down onto the apron. So he is back merging in with the second group of cars as he's teaming up with his RCR teammates there. And
Jinx
the 3's
into the wall.
around.
He was pushed in there. I didn't see by who. We
Oh!
did have a 4-car wreck.
Dark
That should
Dark
be-
Knight in the
that
32
should be a
around.
yellow. Should be a yellow right here.
Yep, yellow is
Beaver
out.
may have gotten involved there
That'll
too.
get Hollywood right back on that lead lap.
Yeah.
I was just watching that
end of
second
stage.
group.
End of stage.
Oh, was it? I was just watching that second group of, it was about a 9 or 10 itself.
So getting the win is our alternate Shady Acres in the
Yes.
first stage of the. So what do you do here? If so, first race of the year. What if an alternate was to go out, sweep the stages, win the race? At that point, do you as a team captain say, hey, maybe I want to, can you do a trade and put him in full time and put your other guy as the alternate just because, I mean, you're kind of locked in? I mean, that would.
I don't think they're allowed to do that, although that does sound really good. They're not allowed to do that. The only way an alternate is allowed this season to become permanent in the Cup is if for some reason one of the team members has to fall out and cannot finish the season.
All right. Shady
And
Acres
honestly, I hope
leading
that
us
doesn't happen,
leading us
anyone.
back. Especially not on the SHR team, right, Canute?
Well, I mean, as much as I want to run in the Cup Series, I want my teammates to be able to run the entire season, and I just want to be there for support, that concrete support, knowing that they have someone that they can count on should they have to step away.
And that's exactly how I feel too, Canute. I just want to assure them that I got their back. If they need any help from me, running practices together with them, helping them with setups, whatever it comes down to, that I have my team members back, and I am Team Front Row Sports. And death before dishonor.
Ooh, big wreck in the back of the field.
Big wreck.
One
a huge wreck at the back of the field.
Death before dishonor.
And I think the 17 might have got around Shady right before that caution came out on the high side to take the lead. I'm not quite sure. But we've got Crimson up here saying Stag for the W tonight. So that's going to be Crimson's pick for tonight's winner.
You know, you're probably not too far off there. Stag was pretty strong last night, as well as Crimson was pretty strong last night as well. So if anybody knows.
Crimson is a guy that could not only have easily been an alternate, he could have been in this Cup Series himself. He is very, very knowledgeable, is very, very excellent racer on the track, doesn't do crazy things. He knows where to be and when to be there, and man, I'd take advice from him anytime.
Now, Punk Panda, we have not heard much from you tonight. Do you want to take him back to green again for us here, bub?
I don't care. Yeah. Go. We got. What is that? I'm still learning the cars.
The 17 is Titanic Joe leading.
Yep. I am not even on the leaders. I'm at Rye now, in that 88.
All right, so the 17 leading on the bottom, getting pushed by the 4 car of Mr. Twoon.
We got Shady and the 1 car on the outside of them. 38 underneath.
Whoa!
Oh, Titanic is pushed up to the high side.
One thing that you don't want to do here at Daytona is clip that double yellow line. Otherwise, your car is going to be shot up the track. We saw it happen a couple times last night, and I'm sure we're going to see it happen a few times tonight too, where cars are just going to get together, and that's going to cause a pretty big accident. So if you can stay probably half a lane up.
Going back and forth, door hanging.
Oh, and the 8 gets pushed around.
32 just took the 8 out against the wall.
Yep, Dark Knight spinning on the backstretch.
Sure if he got pushed. What happened is exactly what King Canute said you didn't want to do, and that is get in the middle of these cars when they're in rows of 2 like that, and that's where the 1 jumped into, I believe, the middle, and it kind of started a chain reaction that didn't look very good. But here we are, we're racing, they're racing hard.
17.
And I want to remind you guys that these Cup cars, while they are faster, they are also a bit more difficult to drive as Happy goes to the lead.
One car spinning.
Never mind, that's a manual caution. I think a manual caution has been called. So Happy did lead them back to the line, but there might be an actual in-game caution going on now because
Shady
of that.
right behind him there.
It is in the 42.
Correct. Shady in 3rd. So, yeah, Shady in 3rd right now. No, Shady in 4th. My mistake.
So here we go. Birdman's got Frankensteinson for the win tonight. And Anxious says, give me the underdog, Shady. Where Travis chimes in, Anxious, if you want an underdog, pick the 21 car. He only completed 6 laps before lagging out. So Travis, I mean, man, we're sad to see that happen in the first race of the year, getting lagged out right there in that 21 car.
I didn't even
sorry,
realize
Trav
he
Nation.
had lagged out. Oh,
Yep.
man, I'm sorry about that, Trav Nation. I'm sorry about that, Travis. Would have loved to seen you here for the rest of the race.
We would have. And Jennifer says that since Trav lagged out, she's not watching. But Jennifer, there are still, 19 other cars, or 23 other cars out here that are definitely 19 other cars wanting you to see what they have. So just because Trav Nation's out doesn't mean, or just because Trav's out doesn't mean you can't tune in and watch your guys.
We got another car in the middle. That'd be the 42.
Oh, that's
He's
shady.
trying to split both these lanes. He's now found his way down to the bottom and found himself a spot.
See, I'm not
You know,
necessarily
these guys
sure
are
that.
doing really good running side by side, top and bottom, until somebody gets arrowed into the middle. Then there's a little trouble.
And
Yeah.
and as we saw just between Niner and I, that is so easy to do in these Cup cars. Aero affects these cars just so much that even a little bit of disturbance can create a lot of havoc.
Yeah, that outside lane, you've got your...
Oh,
he was.
They stay with it.
Two cars.
Boy,
Oh,
that's
Death
a
up in the wall.
blocking. Death is in the wall.
Oh,
38 touches wall. 3 is moving under with the 9
Beanu
car.
Stu stuck up in the
88
wall.
is bouncing around up into the wall and down to the bottom, up into the wall again.
This row is still leading them. 2 cars second of Frankenstein.
And hey, remember this. Those were the cars that were at the very back of the pack not 12, 13 laps ago.
Yes.
So is anybody watching the stream right now? I haven't been able to click a link to see where we're at as far as...
Silence has one going right now.
yeah, I'm watching Shady.
Boy, you're watching Shady, man. That guy's inside the cockpit.
He is.
That's how he races. Is that amazing?
It
Somebody
it
just
explains a
went
lot.
down to one. Right now, these guys are doing pretty good. They're doing a little rubbing his racing thing, but they're holding it too wide, about 8 cars deep, and doing some good solid racing here at Daytona.
And it looks like we are on lap 12 of 25 in stage 2.
Yes.
So about halfway through this race already.
Almost.
And they get about 14 laps of fuel. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
14 laps without the draft, probably
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
16
whoa,
with the
whoa.
draft.
Stagg came from the bottom to the top, but they all handled it pretty well as he lost his position at the front of the bottom line.
And my pick, Silence, leading that top line. Oh, the 38 just jumped up there.
That 3. 2 of Frankenstein. Who's in that 3?
You got the 2 of Frankenstein.
The 3 is Stagg.
Right
the
behind
Stagg
him.
in the 3. Okay.
And then, hey, look who's in third, gentlemen. The 9 of Hollywood.
Yep,
got
he
his
is
leg
back.
We got Shady moving in right behind him, followed by 48 of Death.
So you've got Stagg in second. Stagg trying to make that 3 car. I mean, it's known for its victories here at Daytona. Stagg trying to add one more to the history of that 3 car at Daytona tonight. And he's got a good piece.
So I've gone on board with the 14 of King Pile here on the roof cam looking up towards the front pack here, and you'll see a lot of guys being able to hold that line as the 4 of Toon gets up into the wall again. He's really struggling in this race.
Ooh,
Silence in there as well.
There.
Someone way down low.
Silence went up into the wall. I didn't see who went down. That might have been another...
A baby blue and white car.
Let me see if I can
Like it.
cycle around here.
Is that Dereel?
It might have been.
Could have been.
No, he's driving the 34. That 34 is a
It
light
looks
color
like
Steve.
Yeah, the
Jakes
34
and
is the
Silence
Dereel.
are quite a ways back here. These guys in the back here, they need to all hook up together. They need to stop swerving around and see if they can catch up to that front pack. Which King Pile is at the tail end of.
That's correct, and you see these guys trying to experiment a little bit with the top side, but it's just not able to get organized enough.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if
two cars can't do it. It's got to be at least 4 cars to make it move.
Dereel. Somebody knocked him to the infield, and I bet he's not happy right now. But if he stays right where he's at, he'll be okay, and he'll be on the lead lap for stage 3.
And it looks like the 88 machine being hung out to dry right now here in the front pack as he's falling back to 7th, 8th, maybe 9th place now as we come out of turn 4.
All right, the number 2 of Frankenstein son leading this field. Coming around, there's going to be... I jumped off the stream, off of Shady for a minute. How many laps to go there, Canute?
I'm seeing 9 laps to go. So, and it looks like on Silence's pit window that it is gonna be tight on fuel.
Okay.
Like so that 22 machine is gonna have to, if he wants to make it to the end of this stage, he might have to fall back in line and let someone else lead for a little bit.
Oh, we got the 32 wall tapping, but we have Titanic Joe leading the outside surge here.
We do it.
Guys are leaving him. He had 6. Now he's only got himself and 3 more.
Frank is getting too big of a gap between him and that 3 car. He could be a sitting duck with a gap that big. You don't want that at all in a super speedway. He needs to ride the brake a little bit, get back to the bumper of that 3 car, because when the 3 gets a run or anyone gets a run, they're just going to slingshot right past him. But the 2 jumps to the high side in front of Titanic Joe to get that run that the high side's getting. He's going to get them and try to get that high side to push him to the front.
And he gave Stag the lead doing so. And you know, Niner, we do know this.
Contact!
Frank going to the back.
Into each other.
When you're up front and you look in your rear view mirror and you see people fading back, what's the first thing you do? You let off your gas and you fade right back with them.
Yep, exactly. It's not all about leading and getting a big lead here. You do not. That is one thing you don't want, is to get a gigantic lead over the guy in second, because once that guy in second has the guy in third pushing him, you're done for. You're going straight to the back. And we see there Frankenstein son all the way to the back of that lead pack. One thing we haven't talked... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
No. Go ahead, Canute. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that you also breathe a sigh of relief knowing that wasn't you getting involved in that, causing damage to your car, and thus giving you drag, hindering you in this draft.
Yeah. So one thing we haven't talked about tonight is the new way they're doing their party chats, and you're kind of seeing it here on screen. So all the Chevrolets are... each group is in their own team. So you've only got the 4 cars in a chat with each captain in communication with each other. So you kind of get the feeling the Chevys and the Fords are working against each other here, because you've got all the Chevys team captains together, all the Ford team captains together, and then you're working with your team. So there's a lot of communication going on in your team as to who you're drafting with. You see the Chevys all kind of working together, the Fords are all kind of working together, and that's interesting to see this year, because you got Chevys on the bottom, Fords on top. Let's see what happens here.
Oh my gosh, they are so very organized on top.
12 Fords and 8 Chevys. And
that is correct.
The Fords are in a chat together, and the Chevys are in a chat together.
I think
they each have a person, Jinx for the Fords and Dark Knight for the Chevys, on Discord, doing the cross-talking and letting people know who's pitting on their side and whatnot.
So that is awesome to see.
That Ford train is starting to make headway as they have made their way up into 3rd spot, with the 32 machine leading that charge. And there's the 41 machine running in the 2nd spot.
Hold it. That Sunny D car, boy. When Titanic told me he was going to run that Sunny D car, I thought, man, that's great, because that is actually a great paint scheme in my mind.
You know, another thing that's interesting about this year in Hammerdown as well is that the 2 Roush Racing cars are in separate teams. Silence really, really, really loves the 6 car. And
really?
Since he was the captain
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah. Since he wanted that 6 car so bad, the league owners were willing to let him use the 6 car in place of one of the other SHR cars, and that was basically up to who wanted what car.
And nobody wanted that Jinx 10 car. I'm telling you, that 10 car is not. There's something about it. Something about it.
I made it work against you earlier tonight.
Well, I guess.
Hey. Niner doesn't know this, but in Weekend Warriors, I run that 10 car, and out of 15, I am in 5th place for the season, and we're like 9-10 races into the season there.
Okay.
There you go. So
Okay.
maybe it's not necessarily the car, just luck, pure dumb luck.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping these Fords can make it work. They were so running that Chevy team down on the outside, and then they just lost their momentum. But these Chevys on the inside have got it hooked up right now. And now, look, I need to make a quick announcement for Yeti because I don't want to get him back that he did not pick one of his teammates. So he has recanted his pick for the night. He said he wants to go with a teammate, so he's going to go with B New Stew for the win tonight. Just because he wants a teammate. Oh, the 88 car up into the Ford spinning.
Yep. We got the 32. We got the 14 of Pile. Got a little bit in it. Yeah, the 17 of Titanic Joe. I didn't quite see what happened. I don't think it was him initially. I think somebody got into him. And I'm hoping it wasn't his teammate, the number 32 of Dunlap, because I think he was back there with him.
That is going to be a manual caution, though, because more than 2 cars were involved, but the caution didn't come out. Or at least I would expect it to be. So.
And how many laps to go in this stage?
Stand by.
Not many.
So do you?
I think that's basically it.
Yeah, because if you call
lap.
you can't call a manual with a lap to go. They're going to race this sucker out.
In fact, Niner Dan, as far as I understood, I've been in the league a long time. Manual cautions will not be called 5 laps within the end of stage or 5 laps within the end of the race.
Yeah.
So if you're within 5 laps at the end of the stage or at the end of the race, there's going to be no manuals called.
And, oh gee, I wasn't even on the leader. Who was it that won? Was that the 14 machine?
I believe it was the 9.
So a good run by Hollywood there. Redemption from that.
No, Stagg.
Early...
Stagg got the win.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Stagg got the win in stage 2. So you've got Shady Acres got stage 1. Stagg got stage 2.
Well,
quick rundown in stage 2 finishing order: Stagg, Hollywood, Shady Acres, Death Before Dishonor, Schlinken, Frankenstein's Son, Happy, Titanic. Oh no, excuse me, the Icy Era, King Pile, and Titanic Joe is your 10th place finisher in stage 2. So here we go, the start of stage 3.
After we get this restart from Panda, I'll give you a little info about the new guys that moved up to Cup this season.
Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy there.
We got Shady leading them to the line. We got the 9 on the outside. The 3 is staying on the inside. 2 is coming up to the 1. The 41 just gave the 2 a bump there. The 9 decides to take the low line. Green 4 following.
4 Chevrolets leading this field, but the first Ford looking like it's going to be the number 38 machine. Man, I got to switch over to my car selection here. I haven't even caught up to speed on who's running what car again.
That's going to take a minute to get used to that. A lot of people change
take
numbers.
us a few races, huh, Panda?
It really is. Look, seeing Death Before Dishonor jumping into some public lobbies lately, driving that 48 has thrown me off so bad.
I know. Whoa. We're a little 3 wide on the tri-oval here. You get the Icy Era here. But he got himself down at the bottom. Doing a good. Now we got the number
88
1
into the
drifting.
17, into the 22.
Spinning.
22 is rolling.
That was Dark Knight in the 32. And that is going to be a caution, an in-game caution. So make that the 7th caution on the night.
Dark Knight actually runs the 8. When you're talking the 32, you're talking Dunlap from front row.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
See, there it's going to take a minute.
We're confused. We are definitely confused, all of us.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
And talking about the Smithfield car. That's what you got piling tonight, the Pro League, number 14 Smithfield car he's running.
That's right. At least Smithfield's still being advertised out here because that delicious bacon. So Pyle jumped in that delicious Smithfield Ford tonight in the Pro Series.
Hey,
I
man,
love that
you know
car.
Pyle, he always says he likes a good porker.
That Smithfield thick cut bacon is the only bacon I will ever get at any grocery store.
And that is the bacon approved
man.
by NASCAR and Hammerdown Racing.
Hey,
Smithfield bacon.
Let me tell you, Smithfield bacon is good. But when this is over, Canute, I'll make you hip.
Okay.
In fact, I'll just tell you this.
We got the
If you
42,
can
the
ever
9,
go to a real
348.
meat market, get yourself some beef bacon. Do it up and tell me what you think.
Beef bacon.
Beef
Well,
bacon. Baby.
If
Maybe I
bacon's
can get it
pork,
from my
how is it beef? How is beef bacon if bacon's pork?
because of
Bacon's
where
just
it
the
comes
name
from
of
off
what
the
it
body.
is. It's made of pork, but it's
Ah.
bacon because of its style and conformity. But yeah, do some beef bacon, you'd be amazed.
It
All
comes
right.
off
You know,
of the.
They're getting up
You
to
have
speed
to
here, getting back to the
really go,
restart.
You have
And
to
the
really go
44,
somewhere where you have
Got
a
42 4.
where you have a butcher that does things like
2.
butchering up a whole
Gosh,
That's
that.
the reel is
like
back up
butchering
there
up
too.
a whole steer.
Oh,
They do
DeReal
half
is back
steers,
up there.
they
That
sell
4 car
quarters, halves,
is
and wholes.
pushing.
They'll have some beef bacon for you.
Yeah, I'll have to check and see with my local butcher, see if they do anything like
Your
that.
local meat man.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
Okay.
Everybody needs a local meat man.
You do.
I only
you
trust
do,
White Mints to handle my
You
meat.
know?
Man, Twoon is all over this 42 car, giving him a great push as that bottom line is just surging. The top line is disforming, and they are getting in one big, long, stretched line here, and they're going to ride
We've
out the
got
beginning
that
of this
Chevy
stage
up
3.
front. The Chevy up front with Ford's right on its tail.
Right, Dunlap and King Pyle back there in a 3-car group, trying to see if they can maintain this draft, trying to stay up with that lead pack. If they can hook up well enough, all they have to do is get to within 0.6 of a second.
Twoon gets a
and they
look
should be able
underneath
to
the
get that
42.
draft.
Twoon for the lead, pushing Shady Acres up to that outside all by himself. All the Fords on the bottom line. There's a gap for Shady to jump into, but I'm sure it's going to be closed up before he gets there. So Shady going to go from the lead all the way to the back of this pack as he gets freight trained and gets hit
he's
by
up
the
in the
17
wall.
up into the wall. He's going to try to drop down in front of Jinx. Jinx goes low to get around him.
Jinx did a very.
Ooh.
Oh, we have
Oh,
a
17 up into the 8.
17 and 9 to the 8. That's the 8 car.
That was tight. That could have been
They're way
huge.
slowed down. They did a
We're
very
still
good
green, though.
job there. They did a very good job.
Another thing that you guys might notice a difference between here at Daytona and Talladega. Talladega, you can keep your foot to the floor all the way around this racetrack, even push through the corners. Here at Daytona, you can't really do that because of the tighter radius. You do have to lift off the throttle and even touch the brake a little bit going through the corners just to stay off the guy ahead.
Well, I touched the brake more last night in that Xfinity race than I have ever touched the brake at Daytona. That was interesting. I don't agree with the whole touching of the brake thing, but yes, definitely lifting. But let's talk about somebody we haven't talked about all night tonight. How about our defending Truck Series champion? That young kid Schlinken is up in the top 6. We haven't really seen him much tonight in that one Monster Energy car, but he's right there pushing that 9.
Youngblood is biding his time tonight, and maybe that's going to pay dividends for him. Racing smarter, not faster, can be a good play, especially here at Daytona.
Looked like the 38 just jumped on my screen.
The 17 kind of got lifted up out of line a little bit by the 41 car.
And Dark Knight is leading the second pack. That's going to try to catch the guys up front. And he's got the 34 of DeReal behind him helping him.
Coming to the line.
2 other cars I haven't checked out yet, but
We are on
we're gonna
lap
see if
63
this second
of 80.
pack looks like it's making a little run on the front pack and trying to get up there, as the front pack was weaving around and not keeping in line very well.
That's right. 18 to go as they cross the line here at Daytona International Speedway. Have either of you, or have any of you guys been here before, out of curiosity?
I have before the redo, so I haven't got to actually ride one of the new escalators they have in the grandstands.
Oh, the 88 just took the 42 of Shady up to the wall. And hey, August 27th is the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona Beach, Florida. And guess what? I'm only like 2 hours and 15 minutes away, and I think I might be there.
And it is I love the fact that they have moved Daytona to that last race before the playoffs, because that's where, I mean, Corey LaJoie can win it at Daytona and really shake up that field. And I really honestly believe this will be the first season that we have 16 different winners in the first 16 races of this season. It's definitely on track to do so with, 6 races remaining before the playoffs?
I agree with you, but Dave Moody made this point that there are too many drivers out there that have won already this season that can still win again. There is a chance, the chances are not good enough for there to be 16 or more different winners.
Well, I will let Dave Moody keep his stats and figures to himself over there. You know, I don't normally tune in to NASCAR radio at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 3 to 7's when I take my break, but Kevin Harvick hasn't won this year, and nor has Martin Truex Jr., so the chances of getting to 16 is pretty darn good to me. But here we go, that 2 car.
3 o'clock on Friday, so I have to listen to that.
Junior fan, I believe that he will get a win before the playoffs start.
So do I.
Notice, gentlemen, you had Titanic Joe and Jinx, who kind of got arrowed and got feathered out of this pack. And here comes Jinx up on the outside, and with Joe behind him, trying to get something going. They had 2 cars in front of them, but one of them dropped down to the inside. And Jinx
B-News 2 is about to be lapped by our leaders as we come through the tri-oval. Twoon still leading with the 38 machine in second, and Silence in the 6th and 3rd. So 3 Fords leading the 9 and the 1 as your top 5 here, with 14 to go here at Daytona.
And you got to think that something happened to B-News too. He had to get hung out to dry somewhere.
Not just hung out to dry, but put in the wall. Something must have happened where enough contact was made with the wall, and it just slowed up his speed enough, and he just couldn't recover. So unfortunate for B-News too.
Let's see if these guys...
Oh, another car on the wall. That was DeReal.
That was DeReal. DeReal touched the wall there. Ooh, Jinx touched the wall coming out of the corner at 22.
Hey, a guy that's been at the back for this whole race, really, I doubt he even got any stage points. Dunlap is now up in the 7th position.
Yeah. We got the 4, the 38. That is the, what is that, the 6 of Silence?
Mm-hmm.
The 9 of Hollywood. The 1 of Shalinkin has worked his way up to 5th place here.
And don't forget that the 38 is Happy.
38 is Happy, and then Twoon is the leader. Yep.
I tell you what, that Twoon can really be a firecracker, even though he's a Canadian.
Or is that? Oh, that's the 8 of... Grabs the 8 machine?
Oh, that's...
The 8 would be Dark Knight.
Yeah, he's the team captain.
Okay, Dark Knight is in the 8 this year.
And
Dark Knight's not that hard, because I believe last year, wasn't he in the 08?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Over in the Xfinity, right? Is that it, the 08? All right. And real quick for Trav Nation, I want to wish, I believe it's Tiani a happy birthday coming from Trav. So Trav wishes you a happy birthday tonight, Tiani. And we're getting down here to the end. How much longer till you think we need to make some green flag pit stops here, Canute?
Well, as soon as I can get, or I'm honestly not sure, because Silence is running just in the lap counter view, so I don't really know what's going to happen here. But we should be coming up to pit stops here relatively shortly, because it looks like some guys are dipping below the yellow line here. We might be seeing pit stops coming up here in the next lap or so.
All right, and Panda, we've got some people chiming in on the HDRS YouTube right now, wondering why are you so quiet? Is it lack of liquid support tonight? Wondering why Panda is so quiet this evening.
No. Just kind of, I'm here tonight, guys. Don't worry.
And hey, for everybody out there, and he's not going to tell you, Panda has been working really hard trying to get things together in this new house, and he has a baby on the way. And I'll tell you right now,
everybody hits below the yellow line.
He's just, he's just a little tired.
So the Fords will be pitting this time by 10 to go at the line.
Yes, 10 to go here.
Oh, pitting with 10 to go. I'm having flashbacks.
All right, boys, last
here we go.
Hey, we 4 tires, 2 tires. What do you want to do?
We got Happy into the pits. We got
Twoon's in the pits.
Into the pits. Twoon's in the pits. Titanic 17. Joe's into the pits. It's
we got a group of them
fest.
Here. We do.
Is. We've got the 9 cars out leading, I believe, while these guys are on pit road. The 8 car hits the line, the 3 car, the 48 car, so the 9 and the 1 are going to stay out. It doesn't look like they're hitting the pit entrance line.
And the 12 of Visceral is into the pits. You know, they're doing that pit early thing. Pile, the 14 is in the pits, and they're all coming out right now together.
Twoon is leading out of the pits with Happy right behind him just as they came in. Excuse me. A little bit of a gap back to 3rd place with Silence. And that's coming out of the pits here, not an actual position.
Not yet, but... And that's Darrell behind Silence. I mean, he's come out of nowhere if he's going to be, after we circle through pit stops, if he's going to be in 4th place. Is that the Sunny D
machine back there?
And it looks like,
the 17 car.
Okay. The Sunny D, the 17 is Titanic Joe.
So these first 4 are going to be able to get together pretty quickly, and Darrell's going to be able to join up here as well. Yes, so we've got 5 Fords up together.
Oh, you got a little banging coming out of the pits around turn 1. They're going to be coming out on the backstretch as that group that's going to be the lead group is going to be coming by them here shortly.
They're staying down low. Go.
Uh-oh, they're spreading out. They need to... Oh, we got a little car action there into the wall.
All right.
Twoon to the lead.
And Twoon getting around those Chevys that stayed out that one extra lap.
They got around them all.
They did, and they are starting to pull away. They're locked in.
Twoon, Happy, Silence, and Darrell, the top 4 cars at this point.
Well, there's 2 of our picks are right there in that top 4. I've got Silence picked to win this, and you've got Darrell picked to win it. Let's see if either of us can go play the lottery tonight after we picked our winners at the one place you just draw a number out of a hat. I drew the right number tonight. One of them.
Out of all the races we had last year, I think Canute picked 7 or 8 winners. He was on the money. He was on the money.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have as well luck as I did last year. I'll be happy if I get 4.
Well, there's so many new guys up here this year. It's hard to really tell. You know, there's a lot of new talent in the Cup Series this season.
And since you're talking about that new talent, let's first of all talk about Shalinkin, who was the Truck Season 3 champion last year, is a new talent that's moved up to Cup. You have the Icy Era in the 41 racing for Stuart Haas, who is new and has moved up to Cup this year. You have Frankenstein in the 2 for Penske, who is new and has moved up this year. And those guys are all new to Cup in Season 4, and we'll just have to see how it works out for them.
All right, and as you're talking about that, here comes those Chevys on the outside trying to get a run on these Fords on the inside. That 9 getting a good run down the backstretch all the way up to almost 3rd place. We're coming down with 5 laps to go.
He's being pushed by Dark Knight, and it looks like we're almost going 3 wide, but Dark Knight bailed on him and moved down to the bottom. But the 9 still has the one of Shalinkin behind him, which I think they're both going to fall back here.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to realize we're getting down here to, what, 5-6 laps to go.
We do, and Happy is making a little gap between him and that 4 car. We know what that means. Whenever you get that gap filled, you're going to slingshot around him with coming down to 4 to go here in the Coke Zero 200 for Hammerdown Racing Series.
Hey, in the top 6, you have 3 front row cars running right now. Pretty interesting.
They're coming up on B Stu, getting to put him a lap down right here towards the end of this race.
I think he's going to be a couple laps down before this race is over. I don't know what happened to him. And now while you have Hollywood on the outside, what's B-New going to do here?
Hollywood's going to fill that gap and drive to the bottom. Now, see, that's what I was thinking would happen. That 8 car gets up there behind him. I would think they would try to use him for a draft to try to get that outside line rolling and take him 3 wide into the corner. That would have worked.
We have the 17 of Titanic Joe floated up, and Lincoln got under him, and he's taking his spot.
All right, we're coming down on 3 to go here.
Oh, that smells so good. 3 to go, 3 to go.
So we still have the same leaders. We have Twoon, we have Happy, we have Silence, we have Durill, we have Dark Knight, and we have Hollywood with Shalinkin right on his tail.
Excuse me. Now they're coming down to 3 to go. That was my bad. I had 1 lap too soon there.
So when do you think they're going to make this move? Do you think these Fords are just going to stick together?
I don't think they're going to make a move. I think that the top 4 are going to be happy with the finishing positions they're in. I think that they're working together, and Happy's going to push Twoon to this win.
Whoa. What's going on there? Looked like Durill almost lost it and did the wall, but he held on to it.
Yeah, Durill got a little loose there. I think it was that draft, that airflow.
No, I think he actually got hooked on the rear bumper of Silence, and you don't really want to do that in these Cup cars. Anybody that races these Cup cars, these super speedways, they'll tell you need to leave a 1 or 2 foot gap between you, because these cars get loose when they're in the middle of a pack, and they will swerve a little bit in and out of the corners, and if your front bumper is touching it, look at this move on the outside. Front bumper is touching their rear bumper, they could whip you up to the wall, no problem.
Here comes the 8 car on the outside of Dark Knight, trying to get a run on Twoon with that 9 car pushing him.
He's trying to make his move. He just doesn't have enough help. Boy, Shalinkin has ended up, he's got himself in 4th place now. He divided Silence.
All right.
There.
We're coming down to get the white flag.
Looked like Dark Knight just had a lag spike. But everything seems to be
If he's going to make his move, it's going to be this lap. He's getting a little bit of a gap between him and that 4 car. I wonder if Happy's going to be able to pull out and make this move on this next lap.
Well, remember, he does have a teammate up there in Durill, so you never know what he's thinking.
Yeah. And you don't know if anyone's going to go with you either. You may just get hung out to dry. You could be running 2nd, and then you'll end up finishing.
All right, this is the last lap right here. Coming down the backstretch for the very last time tonight.
We have Twoon, we have Happy, we have
Happy trying to make a move. Silence going to the inside. Twoon, oh my gosh, the 38 car
coming up to help his
teammates coming, and Shalinkin is pushing.
Losing spots.
Silence and Shalinkin go.
Happy
he gets
into the wall.
Out. He gets taken out. Somebody just took him out.
9 car.
And here we go.
Silence on the outside, trying to get a push from Shalinkin, and Twoon is going to win the Daytona 200.
Silence, Shalinkin, and Durill.
Sorry, it was the last lap.
That was, I believe, yes, Twoon.
What a win by Twoon! So the final results: Twoon, Silence, Shalinkin, Durill in 4th, Dark Knight in 5th, with Titanic Joe in 6th, Happy in 7th, Dunlap in 8th, the Frankenstein in 9th, and
Death Before Dishonor.
Death Before in 10th.
We got the top 10 tonight in that 48.
There you go, guys. Boy, you know what? It was a good race. There was some good side-by-side racing here tonight. A few things did happen. We had one lag out. I think there was a minimal amount of cautions in my mind here, and I think it was really an enjoyable race to watch at the front.
And the final caution tally for tonight was 7. I counted 7. So what a race tonight.
That ended up being a very good race there at the end. We had 5 or 6 cars there.
Really?
There you go.
Wait, isn't that my shit?
We're going to get the first 3 in here, Niner Dan. I know we're going to get 12.
Yeah, I've already sent invites to the top 3 to come in.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay. Go in your Word file.
And the first one to join is Schlinken, Mr. Youngblood. Way to go, Schlinken. Top 3.
Yeah,
Tell us about your race.
Man,
Hey, we didn't really talk much about you tonight, Schlinken, until that last part of stage 3. That was impressive, man. How was that race?
It was chaotic for everybody. I'm gonna be honest. It was all the Fords that were having problems with everybody. I ended up bailing out on my team, but sometimes to better my position, I was pushing silence at the end. I almost made him get it, but other than that, the race was solid.
And
Yeah.
you were actually, seemed like to me, you were in the top 10 all night, and for quite a while also in the top 5. So you did a pretty good job keeping yourself up at the front.
I can tell you what, I was really frustrated when we were single file with those Chevys and they kept checking up. I knew we were supposed to check up, but they were doing it way too much and it almost wrecked me many times.
Yeah. Hey, well, great job tonight. Great finish. Very happy for you. It's a good start of the season for you. Silence, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, that was close finish there, Silence. What would? Yeah, you got a good push from that one car there. Was it a little too late of a move, or what happened there right there at the end where you just?
Go SHR, man.
Yeah, y'all had quite the night there for Stuart Haas. And that being said, the winner of the race, Mr. Twoon, how was that race for you in that 4-car? You had a lot of ups and downs going on, man. Give us a little bit, and congratulations, first win of the year, locked in the playoffs.
Oh man, thank you so much. I feel like there's been a curse on me coming to these restrictor plates. I've been there when it's counted. I've been down, I've been up, and then I've just never been able to finish it. I feel like Dale. And then 3 laps to go, I looked up and I seen 3 laps to go. I was like, oh my god, guys, my heart is racing. I really did. And like them Chevys, man, they were starting to make me nervous every time they pulled out there. They were getting a good run with the 9 lead. So I was expecting to make a block, but when I seen their 3rd pusher or their 4th pusher jump down away from the numbers on the bottom, I talked to the Fords and just told them their numbers are down, stick to the bottom. We got this at the end of the race. So.
Can I ask Toon something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Sure.
But what was your heart rate like when I was pushing silence to the finish?
I see silence go. I started hollering, silence!
I saw that you were sliding up, trying to slow him down. I knew you knew it was close.
Oh man, Happy made a nice move back off. Tried to get a run on me in the back stretch. I blocked him. I think I did all right on it. I tried not to be too dirty. If he had it, he had it. But I think I got out in front of him just enough. And then Silence was there. My teammate pushed me around the corner to try and sign the check at the end. I don't blame him trying to pull out and pass me. So.
Well, it was a great finish.
You arguably had the best car, most dominant car, at least out front tonight. Were you at all concerned about your fuel mileage going on through tonight?
No, actually. Like, every time a caution come out, just happened to be I was pitting at the right time, and then I decided that the only time I gambled was there was 16 left. I had 15 laps of fuel and 19 to go, and I stayed out. And luckily, a caution come out again, and I stayed out, and it just kept me the lead.
Well, there you have it. After a fantastic finish
congratulations,
here.
teammate.
Good win, Twin. Good win.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a great win, Twin. Very happy for you, brother.
Thank you. Like, heck yeah, it was like a little bumpy there in the first few stages, but third stage, all the boys pulled it together pretty good.
So you all know, the fastest lap of the night goes to B-New Stu. He got a 43.084. He is the fastest on the daily leaderboard.
Damn.
But he is not quite in the weekly leaderboard though. Those guys are all in the 42s.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Props to the Chevys trying to make that high side work there. I think they had the biggest run on the high side tonight.
Yeah, that high side, it just had a hard time forming. That's 2 nights in a row. We thought we'd see a good high side, and it just wasn't able to pull it off. Maybe tomorrow night the trucks will be able to pull off that high side, but so far,
Tomorrow night the trucks pull that off, Niner.
yeah, so far these
I'm
Cup
trying
cars
so
and
hard.
Xfinity cars just couldn't do it. So tomorrow night, make sure you tune in for our debut season 4 of the Truck Series. I know those guys. I heard their practice went phenomenal. So they're going to be good. Hopefully, I mean, everyone's practiced good on that high side, but when it comes race time, for some reason, it just hasn't been able to form. So hopefully tomorrow night we get to see that. And this was a great debut for the Cup Series for this season, season 4. And next week we head to Hotlanta. Any of you 3 that finished top 3 tonight have anything for Atlanta next week? You think you might be able to pull one off there, or how's your Atlanta car going?
I mean, my car it's really not that bad, but after 5 laps, it just falls off just way too hard. I get loose, so I'm gonna have to work to do on that. As much as I hate the track, expect me to be there. I'll just work my setup.
Hey, Schlinken, that's Atlanta. That's the oldest pavement in the game. So
It is.
expect fall off to happen quite quickly.
Yep, last paved in the spring of 1997.
I got some smoke.
Cheese
I got some
grinder will
smoke
get
for
you.
next week. I got some smoke for next week. I'll be good at it.
No, there you go.
Good,
There you
good.
go. Hey, well, guys, I want to personally thank you for a great race. You all 3 had a great finish tonight. It's a great way to start the season, I'm sure. Everybody out there, make sure you tune in to 9:30 tomorrow night Eastern Standard Time for the truck race at Daytona. And as always, this is Biker, and he's living his life behind bars. Have a good evening, everybody.
Yes, everybody, stay tuned tomorrow night. It'll be but I know Jinx and myself will be in the booth. I'm not quite sure who the other one will be. But we'll see you tomorrow night at 9:30. That's going to do it tonight for Hammerdown. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody.